Okay, we're going to talk about 3D printing quality. I've built a 3D printing machine, and I'd like to show some of the quality that I've been able to get out of it. The machine is called 8Cup. It's an 8 cubic feet printer, 3D printer, and I've built it from scratch, and I've just gotten it working fairly well. It just went through a move. I had to disassemble and reassemble the printer, and I've just been recalibrating after the setup, and I'd like to show some of the quality I get. First, we have this part, which is set up with the nozzle size is wrong, and the same with this part. The nozzle size is set wrong. It's set too big. This is after the nozzle size is too big. This is after I changed the nozzle size. I cut the nozzle size in half, so now the lines are closer together. It's actually extruding too much in that picture. And if you notice, it's extruding too much in this picture also, and the layer height is too high. And now we've got this one where it's still extruding too much. We changed the layer height. Still calibrating, and this next one up is the gear. The layer height is wrong. The extrusion is wrong. The extrusion is not set enough. The multiplier needs to be turned up, so it's extruding more, and the layer height needs to be turned down. And this one, there's a heat problem, and also the layers are too small. They're too close together, and it's still extruding too much. And this one is fairly close to what it should be. There's some heat issues. Also realized I had a nozzle issue. If you notice, there's some checks on the bottom, on the ends of the gear. The nozzle itself was damaged, and it was my fault. I damaged the nozzle. I didn't realize that for quite a few prints, but I was trying to figure out what's wrong with the machine. This is actually the heat setting too low, and after the nozzle was repaired somewhat, although it still needs to be replaced, but I haven't done that yet. But yeah, this is the heat is just too high, or too low, excuse me, set too low. This is down and in fairly close. This is, I believe, after the nozzle was repaired, but there's still some layer issues. This is after the nozzle was repaired, and the layer height and the extrusion factor are proper. You'll notice some burnt looking edges. That's because the nozzle needs replaced, but otherwise the print quality is fairly good. This is actually a purchase off eBay. It's somebody else's printer printed this. It's just to show it in comparison to mine. It's black. It's hard to see, but you can see the quality is pretty close to what I'm getting. It's actually, mine's a little less quality than that, but I'm printing it at a thinner layers than what he is. This one's been cleaned up a little bit. I took some of the burnt stuff off, but that's the best I've been able to do so far. If you notice, that's fairly comparable to what you just saw in the black one. With a little cleanup, it could be fine. And like I say, I still have not replaced the nozzle. It needs replaced, but that's in the works to replace the nozzle. But you'll see that the quality's not too bad there. It's almost acceptable. With a little, like I say, with a little cleanup work, you could probably use that. That's actually a gear for an extruder. And this next one coming up is a gear for an extruder also. It's just a different style of gear. And again, we're going back to the nozzle problems I had. You'll see that it's very uneven layers. They're not matching up very well. There's several issues that were resolved to fix that. But this is after some of the problems were corrected. The layers are a little smoother. Still has a little cleanup work there, but it's, the layers are a little smoother, but they're still, if you notice right there, it's checked. The layers are checked, and that was because of the damaged nozzle. That's before I fixed the nozzle. This next one coming up, I believe it was after I fixed the nozzle, but the nozzle was still not repaired properly. It's the best I could do with what I had. And this third one is after I did some repair work to the nozzle. And that's about as clean as I've been able to get that print. Which isn't too shabby, but it's still, the layers are a little uneven. I believe with my design, the layers are going to be uneven anyway. My design is it's a very large printer compared to what they've got, and just because of the raw design of the unit, I don't know how much smoother I'll be able to get it, but I'm still working on that. This is just a comparison of a bunch of different pieces. The piece all the way in the far right is the best I've been able to do with that gear, and it's close to the quality I got off of eBay. Not quite as good. Theirs is a little different layer height than mine, but it's comparable, I guess. And one already in the far left is just another piece that I printed. Some heat issues with the nozzle. Actually, the nozzle tip, the very tip of the nozzle is too thin walled, and it's causing a burning of the plastic as it extrudes. That was not prevalent until I did some repair work to the nozzle. Like I say, the edges of it have become too thin, and at the same temperature that plastic extrudes, it starts to burn now in thin layers. But anyway, that's an overview of the quality of parts I've been able to get out of 8 Cup, the 3D printer.